Well, good afternoon and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We might be 9 minutes late, but that does not mean that the action is going to disappoint. It is time for Zandvoort. It is round 5 of VDRL Season 8. And alongside me in the commentary, once again, it is Will. Will, how are you doing today and what are you expecting from Zandvoort?
Everyone, welcome back to the stream. I am very good, thank you. Well, Zandvoort is an interesting track because obviously lots of DRS straights. Well, I mean lots, I mean two, and tight corners. So we can expect to see some great racing and possibly some crashes. Not good for the drivers, but good for us spectators.
Oh, so maybe a bit of back 2.0 then. It is a very tight track. And once again, joining us down in the pit lane then, Nedzo, which pit garage have you decided to annoy this time round?
I haven't decided to annoy anyone just yet, so I haven't got any insider info. But this is a great track to really see the driver's talent. It's an old circuit, but most people don't know that it first joined the F1 calendar in 1952 and has been on and off ever since then. It's had some great moments, some great first-time winners as well. Several drivers in real-life Formula 1 have got their first win here in the Netherlands. And it produces good racing and can let people shine on their one-off performances, especially if it's wet.
Right now for qualifying, it is looking like it will be blue skies all throughout. Now, let's talk about the championship fight for a moment. So, of course, as we expected, before the season even started, we have the same three guys. Rajic, Kevin, Toro. Rajic sitting on 85 points. Kevin a further 7 behind on 78. And then a further, 17 points if my math is not wrong. Toro on 61. Neither of them have gone a podium in all 4 races yet. All of them have failed at some point in the season. Rajic in Australia, Kevin last time out in Canada, and Toro at the first time of asking then. So it is a very tight one. Toro, once again, we said this last race, he needs to win this one. That gap of 24 points to the leader, it really can't get any bigger now. He needs to start getting that gap down to even under 20 points, and he's looking very well.
Yeah, I have to say that. And just remember, we are halfway through the season now, so it's getting tense for the drivers. And with Kevin's bad luck he's had, obviously coming from Baku, he's had Canada, a big one.
Very good race.
It was so he just got unfortunate, but the comeback was on fire, and that actually kept him kind of close in the championship, keeping that alive. But Rajic obviously taking the win there. So Kevin needs to, obviously it's his home Grand Prix today, so he just needs to knuckle down and just focus on getting this pole position and just zooming away from the pack. His teammate Timo is also going to try and join in as well, both obviously at their famous home Grand Prix. So as we're on board with Kevin, and you can just see he's just trying to chuck that car in with that wheel spin on the rears as well. So you can tell he's hungry for this, for just to take the lead after this race.
Yeah, there's got to be quite a few fans in the grandstand there having Van Dyke or Red Bull merch somewhere, either on their head or the shirt or something. But first up, we know Kevin. He likes to do as many qualifying runs as possible. If you would compare it to the 2 Alpine boys of Rajic and Toro, they like to only do 2, maybe even 1. We've seen them mostly because they've gone stuck behind other cars or made mistakes on their hot laps. But Kevin, he likes to go for all 3, which is why up until last race he was on 8 consecutive pole positions, which is still a mind-blowing fact, right? I mean, it's not like this grid is full of slow drivers and Kevin's the only one there, but you've got Rajic, you have Toro, you have Nicholson, you have other drivers who on their day ride can surprise and can deliver.
Yeah, so actually on the basis of Nicholson, let's talk about his performance from last race. He had an absolute shocker and managed to bring his way. Well, he actually planned out the strategy right. It's as if he talked to Nedzo before. Basically, yeah, he got it absolutely correct and was up fighting with the others. Basically, took over Kevin's position and stayed in between the Alpines. And another person who's joining in that fight as well was Nilu. So Nilu enjoyed that as well. So can we expect to see more of that today? I mean, I
reckon it's going to be a bit harder because Canada, right? You've got a couple of corners DRS straight, a couple of corners DRS straight, 2 corners DRS, right? Here you've really only got the one. Sure, you have a tiny one pretty much right halfway through, but it's going to be a bit more difficult for these guys to follow each other in the dirt here, but also keeping their tires in good nick then. And going down to Nedzer now, what's the tire wear around here? Because there are quite a few corners where that left front is being put under a lot of stress and load.
Well, in qualifying, the tyres do just absolutely eat themselves because you have to go flat out if you want to maximise the time. But in the race, you find drivers will purposely back off through those corners just to stop the tyres from overheating and to stop them from wearing.
There's been a stake that's had a spin there. This is Woody07 then, who's waiting for a gap to get back, and that's on the exit of a turn where the curbing, the entrance of that curbing, or what turn numbers? Turn 8?
Turn 10,
is it that lane?
Out of the exit, turn 9, yeah.
Yeah, out of the exit, turn 9, and you don't want to run wide on the entry there, because you've got that curb, but Don't Play Zero is about to go through there. If you get on that curb, then it is like a magnet, and you will just get thrown into the gravel trap. You can't do anything about it unless you slam on the brakes, right? But it just invites you to run out so wide. So I'll be very surprised if we don't see anyone going off there as well. So there are quite a few spots where Zandvoort, it is a tricky track, right? Where you want to maximize that entrance to exit speed. That section where Don't Play Zero went through is one of them as well. Of course, you've got that run up the hill out of turn 3 all the way to the right hander of turn 6 then. So I don't know, it is an interesting track one, but is it one which can deliver good racing then?
I can imagine it will. You know, all the drivers seem to be really quick round here. Obviously, Kevin putting it so far, provisional pole position with Toro just falling in behind. We've got the same top, but let's have a little shocker in P3 there, Nilu, and also P4, Dincho. So Dincho was an awesome driver, I want to say, from Canada, fighting off Kevin, I believe. Kevin and Timo, both the Red Bulls there. So Dincho's got a lot to prove, and look at that, the invalidation there, but it's an outlap anyway. But yeah, as I was saying, Dincho was doing absolutely amazingly, holding off both those Red Bulls. He definitely got the pace inside of him, and if he gives it all today, I can imagine he's going to be definitely high up in the point.
Yeah, because his qualifying was not that great in Canada, but his race pace fantastic, and especially once the rain hit. I mean, yeah, he was matching Kevin, which is no easy feat. Now we see Rajic, who's on his lap, then drifting around the right-hander, then almost going wide, then, but somehow manages to keep the car under control, then, and his tires are going to be in even more pain than usual now, trying to get the traction down this little short straight. I think this straight's like 700 meters or so. Actually, it might be a bit less if I'm not wrong. It might be 600 or something like that.
Well,
now, right left chicane. Yeah, Nedzo probably knows it then. Now he's got 2 fine corners. He's actually only got 1 proper corner now, and he'll open the DRS flap round the banking then, which once again, I don't know the exact degrees, but I think it's 33 if I'm not mistaken, or it's 33 quite a bit. Anyway, Rajic goes P4 behind Nilu by a 10th, so it's still Kevin, then Toro, and then Nilu splitting the 2 Alpines.
Yeah, see, that's interesting, that one actually. The fact he's gone behind Nilu, but was that a mistake he made or something else? But look at that, as we're talking, Kevin is absolutely dominating these corners, and he's really showing the true potential in that Red Bull. And went purple sector 1, hopefully looking to go again purple sector 2. He'll be coming up to the end soon, I believe. But yeah, that banking is unbelievable. As he said, he was around 30. Yeah, and as I say, he is purple sector 2.
Very low, 400s.
And he parches the gravel trap there, not making much of a difference. Comes into the last corner. I'd imagine he's going to go faster, and it's going to be a harder time for the other drivers to beat. So what is it going to be as he's coming up to the line now? He is going to set a new PB. It's going to be a 108.3. So drivers are going to try and beat that. The person behind Toro has only done a 108.6. So they've got a 3/10 to catch up on. So, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, Kevin found a lot of time there in the final sector. Must have been around the penultimate corner. As like you mentioned, he was on the gravel there for a second. Now, the 007, also on a hot lap in the Mercedes. Then he is... So what, he was shaking a bit on the straight, then off into the gravel now. This is not looking like a good lap, as now he hits the wall. And I'll not be surprised if that is front wing damage for him. And yeah, this is not a great lap. He goes off again, Will. So clearly he's struggling quite a bit now. And surely, oh, and he might even have gone in the way. Never mind that. I think there was Williams in front of him going into the box. He's pitting as well now. And that hero is going to be speeding into the pit lane anytime soon if he goes that. So Nicholson is on a lap there. And this is one of those drivers who you can't take out of the equation. You really can't, because he's always there. Pretty much when Nilu is there, you know, just waiting until Kevin, Toro, or Rajic make a mistake, which was very much the case 7 days ago.
Yeah, 100% really. I'm excited to see what Nico can do again, because I know he's got that race pace, and he really showed it in Canada, and I think he did show it actually in Baku as well, if I'm mistaken. So
I think it was Australia.
Oh, Australia, yeah, something around that. So he was an he was an amazing driver. He's actually in the lap now, and he does the exact same, as you can hear on the sound effects of them just scraping the gravel there. But
maybe you don't lose time through that.
No, I was going to say, yeah, no one's lost any time from it, so it's not a problem. But Nico Son, here he comes up to the line now. He's going to go 8. So, bit of a shocker there, but we know he's got the race pace, don't we?
Tell you what, out of interest, I was looking at Kevin's hours on the F1 game. He's got around 1,000 on each one of them ever since like 21. So, tell you what, if he thinks going on the gravel is the quickest, it's the quickest.
100%. And we know with Kevin, he's got the experience with 8, isn't it? It's 8, I believe, positions after Rajic took that one away in Canada, ruining the streak.
So he's looking to restart that streak here today.
He's looking to go again, and yeah, it's kind of like a Max Verstappen moment when I think it was 2023 or 22 when he had a crash, I think, and then after that he won 14 Grand Prix in a row. So I'm sure it's going to be the exact same with the Red Bull, some sort of Red Bull curse, but he'll bring his way back up. Here comes the Nico's teammate there.
Centurio.
I know.
He's invalidated though, so... Yeah, less than 7 minutes left then, and the 007 and Centurio yet to set a lap time. Centurio is actually going to go into the box, so that's a soft tire set thrown away. But so far we have Kevin on pole, and alongside him, we completely missed this, Will. Nilu has gone a 10th away from him, so Nilu is really liking this track. The 007 is about to start his lap, and never mind, he has invalidated. Well, I've never seen that before. On the grass or apex of the banking then, if you'd invalidate around here, you'd think it would be either here where Mike is on the exit, or that little S section up there after turn 3, but that's a very odd place to go invalid.
Yeah, you're right, and I've never seen that before either, but I think he was trying to, I don't know, he was kind of shaking too much. Obviously something wrong with the car. As we say that, Mick there with a big snatch of the rear, absolutely pushing the car to its limits, and you can tell he's pushing as well. He's coming up to the line. Where is he going to put himself? He's only P10 at the moment. We know Mick's got decent pace. He backs off. You can hear him jump off the throttle there, so he didn't try. But I think the Red Bulls have installed something, and really it kicks them properly. And yeah, as I was saying, Nilu is unbelievable, getting up to second. So we haven't seen this qualifying pace from Nilu before, but we've seen his race pace. So is it going to be today great qualifying, but not the best racing, or is he going to have the best racing and obviously stay up at the top as well? But as we say, Rajic actually beat Soro's time there, and he has got a 1:08.5. So they're still quite a bit off from Kevin.
Around a rather short circuit, and I've just been looking at the car's suspension coming around the banking, and it is bouncing around quite a bit there, especially on the front right. You should be able to see, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm wondering, is he just running way too stiff suspension then? Or, I mean, that's the only plausible thing I can think of, which is why he's shaking that much. Either that, or he's got way too much force feedback.
Yeah, 100%. And Nedzo, down the pit lane, when you were speaking to the Alpine engineers, if you were, I think you were at just before we kicked off, did you hear anything about the suspension changes at all?
I haven't heard anything about any drivers doing suspension changes. The only thing I've heard was I went down to Aston.
Because we had stream issues, or at least I had. I'm not sure about.
Yeah, no, I did the exact same.